Grand Prix on gravel, the fastest forest roads in the world, the jewel in the WRC crown. Welcome to the third and final day of the Neste Oil Rally Finland, round 8 of the 2012 World Rally Championship. This is the one to win, and today marks the return of the most famous stage of them all. Onnenpohja is back. Day one it was. That was Fredrik Allen crashing in the academy. Julian, it was a great start from our top drivers, but Allen with a huge one there.
That's it, and there was a few more moments along the way. Huge jumps by people, Evgeny Novikov being one of those. And it got all a little bit worse further on down the stage. Stage number 5, Jukkajärvi.
And that was Evgeny Novikov on day 2, actually, of Rally Finland. Now, surprisingly, that crash didn't end his day. Some great work from the Ford mechanics, and Novikov and Jurdy were back out. Australia's Chris Atkinson was next on the list of casualties, back in the seat for the first time since Mexico, filling in for Qatar's Nasser Al-Attiyah, who was on Olympic duty. That was a biggie for Chris Atkinson.
No one's fault but mine. I misheard a note and turned right on a crest instead of left. And so stupid.
Well, they say experience pays, and despite a strong start, Citroen's Thierry Neuville, making his Finland debut, ended his first assault on the forest roads with this dramatic roll. He returns today under Rally 2 regulations. Up at the front, Petter Solberg as ever, putting in a solid display for the Ford factory team. He ran 4th all day, but finished the day with a flourish. He ended by taking the win on the final forest stage. And meanwhile, his teammate Jari-Matti Latvala wasn't putting in the performance that thousands of his compatriots had turned up in Jyväskylä to see. He ended the day in 3rd, seemingly unable to match the speed of the rally leaders.
The time is not going to be there, it's not going to be faster than Loeb, so there is nothing else what I can do.
And once again, it was the Citroens of Mikko Hirvonen and Sebastian Loeb that graced the top of the leaderboard, engulfed in a thrilling battle. Hirvonen took 4 stage wins over the course of the day, the Finn defending national honour on his home event.
It's going to be a big fight, really big fight.
Once again, it was Sebastian Loeb who had the edge over Hirvonen. He leads the way with just 1 day remaining. The world champion is at the top of his game, but he's taking nothing for granted.
The gap is so small now that it will be a hard fight again tomorrow.
Well, going into the final day then, this is how things stand. Loeb holds a slender advantage of 5 seconds over Hirvonen, with Latvala more than 15 seconds adrift of his compatriot. Norwegians Solberg and Østberg rounding off the top 5. And the last leg includes Classic Test southwest of the rally, based near Jämsä, with a grand finale of 2 passes across the legendary Onnenpohja. Terrifying 33 kilometres of jumps and flat-out straights. 140 kilometres of action today. This is how the 17 WRC crews line up today. Novikov and the restarting Atkinson are first into action, while further back, Ken Block will be desperate to hold on to his top 10 position on his first ever Rally Finland. So a crucial series of Finland's finest roads lie ahead. It's a fascinating contest in prospect. First up, Jules, the 15 kilometres, the Surkey stage. That's a tough wee stage.
That's it. It's in the opposite direction this year. It's 2011. And some of it hasn't been used for since 1999. So Novikov won't have any notes. But I tell you what, his co-driver might.
Co-driver been here many times before. This stage is well, some of the small narrow roads, as you can see here, a little bit of the big wider roads, but it's a technical stage to start the morning.
That's it. Remember, Dennis Girardet in '93, he won with Finnish legend Juha Kankkunen.
Thierry Neuville there, back under the Rally 2 regulations, Julian. He's been impressive so far this weekend. A job to do today, though.
He has got a job to do today, get that experience. Obviously, disappointing for him yesterday with the Super Rally, but he did a solid job, I think, until that point.
Really solid job from Thierry Neuville. Very, very impressive for a man coming to Finland for the first time. Petter Solberg, well, I don't think he's going to trouble our top boys today. So important, though, that he holds on to that 4th place.
Well, that's it. He's trying to hang on to the coattails of likes of Latvala and Hirvonen and Loeb, and I just don't think it's going to happen or at all, to be fair. He starts only 1.1 seconds behind his teammate, though.
Yeah, it is actually, you know, but we tried a little bit with the setup, but it's we don't get what we want, so we will change the setup now.
Not the start that he was looking for, but this man needs a quick start. Hunting down Sebastian Loeb, Julian. Big day for Mikko Hirvonen.
That's it, 5 seconds behind into this. So these are classic Finnish stages.
That's what they call moment there from.
Yeah,
that's what they call a small road, though.
Yeah, small road, just very small enough for him to run wide and just clip something. I just didn't know what was in there, but Mikko obviously going to have to watch that, see if he can maybe, has it knocked the tyre off through him, has he got a puncture or anything else, but speed still seems to be there now.
Early in the stage, maybe 2 kilometers in the end. From the start I went wide and hit the rock with the rear left, so I had a puncture. I did the whole stage with empty tyre, so yeah, it just slowed you down a little bit.
Turns out that wasn't actually a puncture, Julian, but he did lose time to this man in there. Sebastian Loeb had to take advantage of that small problem that Hirvonen had, and he took advantage well.
That's it, Loeb. Eyes on stalks down the road while Daniel Lind reads out the pace notes towards him.
We've done a good time. I'm a little bit surprised because I didn't think my advantage will be so big at the end, but finally 4 seconds is a very good stage.
Well, Sebastian Loeb's lead going into Lietzu 1, 8.9 seconds. A big job now for Mikko Hirvonen to try and claw back some of that time in the Lietzu stage. But first up, it's Ken Block, and that doesn't look good, Jules.
When he landed it, the wheels out. He didn't hit anything there. Maybe there was something earlier on in the stage that clipped something, but front suspension is not going anywhere.
Quite clearly.
22k stage.
Just landed hard off the jump up here and broke the control arm or the connector of the control arm to the car. So we spun out here and didn't think anything of it, didn't know something was broken. So we tried to whip around and continue. Fans helped us skid. We were a little stuck on the side of the road, but when we discovered that the control arm was broken, we just been trying to repair it. We've used a couple tie downs to hold it in, and we'll see if we can get back to service. I'm out of 10th place, which really sucks.
Yeah, desperate disappointment for Ken Block. Things going so well for him until that point. Mats Osberg, though, is having a good rally. He's in, what, 5th place? Needs to hold on to that today.
That's it, 5th place, just over 25 seconds behind compatriot Petter Solberg.
First of the Fords, though, Jari-Matti Latvala. Can he catch the Citroens in front? Is that his plan this morning? I don't think so. I think he just has to wait and see what happens to the two in front of him.
Well, we know, Colin, on his day, the Finn in the Fiesta is one of the quickest objects going down a stage. But all weekend, though, it just hasn't seemed to click. And it's again, when you look at the Citroens, again, this just doesn't look like it's clicked either.
Yeah, making a little pace note change there, Jari-Matti for the second pass. Yeah, he's not really been on form. I don't know whether the setup's not suited him, whether maybe he's just not found the rhythm that you need to have here in Finland, but he's not really troubled the Citroen so far. Needs to find more pace today. That certainly looks quick.
Like I say, you're wondering how he's slower than that man when you watch him through.
Well, Loeb still very much in that battle with Mikko Hirvonen. 8.9 seconds, remember, his lead going into this stage.
He gets beat in this one, though. 1.5 seconds that Hirvonen will take back. So it's Loeb is like getting reeled in, nip and tuck.
It's been the story of the weekend, really. Sebastian Loeb extending his lead. Mikko Harvinen taking a little bit back again. But Loeb, if the pattern's to be repeated, will move ahead again this afternoon. But here we are. Sebastian Loeb leads. His lead over Harvinen, 7.4 seconds after 14. Jari-Matti Latvala in a comfortable third place, with Solberg still in fourth. So that's the end of the first two stages in the morning. 4 more stages to see whether Mikko Harvinen can hunt down Sebastian Loeb. Join us after the break to see if he can do it. Welcome back to the Neste Oil Rally Finland. We still have 4 stages left to go here in Finland, and Sebastian Loeb is our rally leader. It's all to play for, though. Mikko Harvinen just 7.4 seconds behind. Jules into the second running through the Circuit and Liutsu stage. Martin Prokop.
He's on a big push there, isn't he? But tell you what, he's battling for 10th place at the moment with this man and a couple of others as well.
Good weekend for Matti Rantanen, really out there. He had a disaster in 2011 where he went off in stage 2, but he's been solid, Rantanen, this weekend.
Gets him there, got a front left puncture. About 10 k's he had to drive on that. You see the car understeering really, really badly. He was in a battle with Rantanen.
There is some rocks, etc., but it shouldn't go like that, so it was just bad luck. Very, very unhappy.
Yeah, he had a good weekend, Jari Kärsimä, eventually finishing in 8th place.
But if this is Sebastian Loeb, Sebastian Loeb's teammate, Mikko Harvinen, he is the man chasing Sebastian Loeb.
7.9 seconds behind. Needs to take a few out of him in this loop of stages before we head for the final 2 runs through Olympia. Absolute commitment from both these Citroën drivers. No thought of team tactics at all. There are no team orders. They're both being allowed to push right through to the end.
I think that's right. They're so far ahead in the championships. Give them one rally where they can have a go.
Yeah, I think had Ford been closer in the manufacturers, it would have been different.
No, it's any second what I can take now is definitely good for me, so we'll see. But there's still 3 stages to go, so I'm going to try.
So Mikko Harvinen just reducing that gap by a fraction in that stage. Jules Ott Tanak, good weekend for him. Lots of pressure on him this weekend.
That's it, yeah, he's all that experience that he's had from Marco Martin. Here's another man who's learning and gaining experience every time, Mads Osberg. As he head of Tanak at the moment.
Seems to be struggling a little bit with something there. It was a broken drive shaft, I think, wasn't it, Julian?
Yeah, he's struggling with the traction. You can hear it rattling. The drive shaft rattling around.
That in itself must be distracting, that level of noise in the car.
It doesn't sound good. Jari-Matti Latvala, obviously the leading third place at the minute, but seemingly unable to do anything about the red cars in front of him.
Doing absolutely nothing about them. A real shame for Ford and for the Finnish supporters out there. Latvala has done all he can. He's made setup changes to the car. He's tried to relax. He's tried to push. Nothing working for him this weekend, though.
The speed and commitment and bravery is just incredible.
But it does come down to fractions of a second, and every kilometre this man Loeb has been fractions of a second quicker than anyone.
He's just been unbeatable. So far he's led from the start, and to be fair, not a shock, but a little bit of surprise on this event.
Yeah, at the start of the event he said, look, I've won this one twice, I don't have to push, I don't have to take risks, we'll see what happens. And what's happened is, as you say, he's led from the start, and he has looked supreme all weekend, not really making any mistakes, not really looking as if he was feeling any pressure. Sebastian Loeb, oh, what a performance this weekend.
It was joint fastest in here with Jari-Matti Latvala. Latvala getting on the pace, and Loeb's lead now 9.4 over his teammate.
Some great shots there through the farm buildings. Really giving you a good idea of the scenery around here, the geography around these legendary Finnish stages.
They're just absolutely fantastic. I mean, just look at around them.
Well, here we go. After stage 16, Harvinen with 9.4 seconds to make up in the two runnings through Onimpoja. Latvala and Solberg, well, not really much change there. Well, it's a brief respite for our crews as they head to the Jyväskylä Service Park.
We had to push on the limit, and it's what I tried nearly since the start of the rally. At the moment it's okay, we are still in the lead. Increasing a little bit the gap again, so it's 9 seconds, so it's not too much, but it's better than nothing.
When you have a very close fight and you just try harder and harder, and sometimes you even realize yourself that, or you think that it's really unbelievable how fast we are going, and still nobody is making any mistakes. So I'll try to fight. For sure, I'm not going to give up, and I'll try to fight all the way to the end. So you know, I'm sure it's going to be an exciting fight.
Let's say that the very first two stages this morning, I found a very good relaxed feeling, and also it's been carrying on the midday time, and I'm pretty happy now that we have managed to find some little things for the car. Car is getting better all the time. Honestly speaking, I'm a little bit too far away from them, but at least we have 2 times the Onimpoja, so we try to keep the pressure on that they need to keep fighting.
Well, here we go then. It is into the legendary Onimpoja stage for the last 2 stages of this year's Rally Finland. Mikko Harvinen with 9 seconds to make up on Sebastian Loeb.
Onimpoja is a fantastic stage. That is the one that really puts you back in the seat. You need big balls to do all the jumps, but you also need to be clever enough to slow down a bit a few places.
For sure, it's really impressive, really fast, big jumps, and even more difficult as the others, so it will be an interesting power stage, I think.
Many drivers think it's one of the most difficult stages in the world, and a little bit scary.
Well, this is it then. It is Onimpoja, 33 kilometres of the greatest roller coaster in the World Rally Championship.
First in there. It's the first one we see in Onimpoja over there. That's the famous jump, Paul. The famous jump Marco Martin made famous.
Yeah, a few people have made their names in this stage, haven't they, Julian? 1 or 2 for going blindingly quick, 1 or 2 for going into the trees.
It's just constant. Loeb, a lot less height. Obviously, the Finns normally try and keep the car on the floor to not let it fly, because when you're in the air, you aren't going forward. Loeb here, just using every inch of the road, absolutely on it. This, to me, is a more fast and flowing stage, which Loeb potentially could lose time if we go off the previous 2 days.
Well, you can see from this great heli shot, it's all 4th, 5th, 6th gear stuff. It is so fast through there. So at the end of 17 then, well, Mikko Harvinen took just a fraction out of Sebastian Loeb with 1 to go, 7.2 seconds. Loeb's lead over Harvinen. Well, Finland's also a round of the Super 2000 World Rally Championship. P.G. Anderson took the win here, Julian, but there was a close battle between him and Craig Breen.
It was an amazing weekend for the pair of them. Great battle. There was other people in contention as well. But the battle in the final day was between P.G. Anderson and Craig Breen. Craig Breen absolutely flying and having to push so hard to keep Anderson behind him. And to be fair, pushing just a little bit too hard in the Onimpoja stage.
Oh, that was a very big one indeed for Craig Breen. Looked spectacular, Julian, but didn't come to a stop too quickly. That's the good news. Both crew fitting well.
That's it. They're both getting out there. Just such a disappointment for Craig, obviously leading at that point, and then P.G. Anderson putting him under pressure. Craig going off and out of the rally.
Well, we're into the final stage of the rally, Julian. It's Onimpoja 2. It's also the power stage here, the longest power stage we've had this year. What can Mikko Harvinen do? We'll find out as the stage progresses. But here we go. Petter Solberg, tough week for him.
Tough weekend for sure. I mean, Petter would have wanted so much more. Petter was talking about so much more, and it just hasn't quite gelled. To be fair, it hadn't quite gelled for the Ford team, not just Petter. But let's just admire the roller coaster.
Solberg holding the record on the stage, and in fact, Julian, this run breaks that record. He held it for all of 2.5 minutes.
That's it, yeah, he got the record in here. I mean, it's just incredible. You think that record was back in 2004. We've now got 1.6 litre engines now.
I tried hard, and but they got Jari on the podium anyway, and that's very important for the four. But we came here and we wanted more. But
after Greece and New Zealand, this must be a disappointment because you were right on the pace, both cars.
Yeah, I know, but this is how it is sometimes. You know, everybody working hard, and it's a factory team, so. Nobody's sitting back home and eating spaghetti, you know, so you really have to work harder, you know, the drivers and everybody.
Yeah, Petter Solberg there. No one is sitting at home eating for spaghetti. Absolutely not, Petter. Solid fourth for him. Not what he wanted. Third for this man, Julian, his teammate Jari-Matti Latvala.
Not what he wanted.
Definitely not what he wanted. Latvala off form all weekend. Never too far off the leading two drivers, but just a little too far.
Off form here. Just seems to be like exaggerated so much more than anywhere else, and struggling weekend for him.
End of Rally Finland and down. Place the podium. But you maybe after the pace of New Zealand and Greece will see that as a disappointment.
Yes, it was a disappointment. Of course, we were hoping more from this rally, but we couldn't get more. So I had a bit of a problem with in the beginning of the rally. I wasn't on my best, and when I won that, then it started to be okay, but still we were not quick enough, and we were working with the setup, but Citroens were very, very strong in this rally.
Yeah, not on his best from the start. You need to be on your best from stage one. He lost a lot of time through the first three stages. Jari-Matti Latvala never got it back, but this man he's been hunting down Sebastian Loeb all weekend, Julian. Did his best in this stage, was fastest through the final stage, but just not quite enough for Mikko Hirvonen. A good weekend, though, a confidence-building weekend for Mikko Hirvonen and Jarmo Lehtinen.
A huge weekend, no mistakes, full speed, well, the odd one little bank touching, but absolutely impeccable performance by Mikko. Just a great weekend.
The home Rally Finland 2012, and it's been a valiant effort, but I don't think it's going to be enough. You're going to beat you again.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have another second position in Finland. So it makes it even worse, but okay, we had a fantastic fight and not really big problems, so I just couldn't do it. He was just faster again, and all I can do is congratulate.
He's incredible, isn't he, really?
He is, yeah, he's unbelievable. And if you have a perfect run, you know, it's not enough against Sebastian. You need to do it even better.
Well, here is that man, Sebastian Loeb, Julian. Yeah, you've got to do better than a perfect run to beat him. Sebastian Loeb has appeared to be relaxed all weekend. He's set amazing times. He's fought off the flying Finn, Mikko Hirvonen, and he takes win number 3 here in Finland.
Well, that's it. I mean, he said in the press releases before the rally that he would kind of ease his way and see how it went. Well, it eased his way in very, very well on stage 1. And he's thought, well, hang about, let's see how it goes. And that's how it went.
Sebastian Loeb, 3 times Rally Finland winner. It must be so special for you.
Yes, for sure. It's always really special to win Finland because it's an incredible rally, very fast. The Finnish driver are nearly unbeatable, but I've done it a few times now, so it's yeah, for sure it's great to win here.
When you came here, you said you weren't going to push. You were going to see how it was, though, and you've led from the start. It's been immense.
Yeah, I know, but I knew I have to start fast to take a good rhythm, to be in the race, not to be following the times all the weekend. So I tried hard at the start, and finally my rhythm, I was feeling really well in the car. No moments, nothing, very good times all the time. So I tried to continue like this until the end, and we've done it.
You're now a legend in Finland as well.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so try to continue. I don't say next year, I don't know, but
you've got to come back next year. Everyone wants to see you next year.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Come on!
I cannot say anything. We will see that.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him back next year. Well, confirmation of the power stage points. Hirvonen fastest through with 3 points. Solberg second, and he picks up 2. Loeb with an extra point there in the Onnenpojä power stage. So So at the end of the 2012 Neste Oil Rally Finland, Sebastian Loeb claims win number 3. 73 wins he's had in his career now. Mikko Hovnen, a very valiant second place, 6.1 seconds behind Loeb. Latvala is the third on the podium.
Congratulations, Sebastian. It's a really good fight. It was a really good fight, a really good battle. I think you're exhausted a bit, but I think you're used to win. But what does it mean to you to get the third victory at the Finland Rally?
For sure, it's great to win here in Finland, especially against these terrible Finnish drivers who are always very fast here. So it was a great battle with Mikko. We had a lot of fun in the stage. So finally, it's a great satisfaction to win here. And also on the other side, for me, I didn't have especially to win. I wanted some points for the championship, but the best points is the victory for sure. So I felt very well in the car, and I felt all along the weekend I'm able to fight for the victory. So I tried, and finally we're here.
Well, what does that do in terms of drivers' points? Sebastian Loeb leading the Drivers' Championship, 171 points. Hovnen in second place. Solberg on 104 points moves up to third. Jari-Matti Latvala down to fifth place. So that was the roller coaster that was the 2012 Neste Oil Rally Finland. It was the most incredible performance from Sebastian Loeb from the Citroën team. Their fourth 1-2 in a row. The championship now moves on to Germany, the home, more or less, of Sebastian Loeb. Is it possible to beat him there? Well, for sure he was beaten last year. Let's move on in 2 weeks' time to Rally Germany and see whether Sebastian Loeb